So today on Wide Travel, we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing something to do with the model railway. And we've got this little thing. So, as I say, we're not doing any travelling today. We're actually going to be working on the model railway today, or rather I should say, we're going to be unpacking this that's arrived in the post. We're down at my brother's because obviously I don't have a working model railway, but my brother does. So this has come down here and we're going to unpack it. So I'm not going to say what's in here yet. I'm going to get a knife and we're going to So I have no idea. This is got from eBay. I know what it's supposed to look like. Whether it does or not is another matter. As you can see, hasn't really arrived in the best of states. So we're going to see. Right, there we go. Getting there in the end. So, and still got to try and find a way in here. Okay, I won't make a mess. Right, okay, so over here, first clue about what I've actually bought for the model railway is actually a Virgin Bachmann double O gauge Virgin Voyager. So not too bad a condition for that one, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Now I have to say, while I'm doing this, is obviously, as you've seen some of my scrapwood videos, which I'll put a link to, is the railway was going to be an American outline thing, but so many things have happened, unfortunately. Damage to the summer house and everything else, that nothing has happened to that railway at all. So in conjunction with my daughter, we've actually designed a new railway which will be both British and American outline, so the actual track plan will do both. I will go through that track plan in a different video. Now this is why we've got a Virgin Voyager now. Right, so it's, on first glance, it looks like it survived. Looks like it survived the trip to us. So, really pleased about getting hold of these. These are really hard to come by. I'm not going to say how much I paid for it, but let's put it this way: it was well below the normal odds. So, we know that there's a little bit of glazing damage to one of the coaches, which is repairable. We know that. What we don't know is whether this is actually going to work, whether it's actually going to run. Now, I'll just take a quick look. For those of you who want to know, it is actually the Virgin set number 3600. This would normally come with track and a controller, but I do know that it has neither. It just has the train, which is the only thing I'm worried about. So, let's take a look at the condition of it. First glance, looking alright. There's the glazing there. Now, the glazing is actually inside the coach, I've been told. Now, the couplers, because this is a close coupled model, I believe the guy said is in here. Oh yeah, I believe they are. Yes, they are. So they're in there. So let's take a very quick look. So initially, it's looking alright. Let's see if we can get one of these out without damaging it. So, yeah, it's looking. I'm not seeing any visible damage. The front coupling is there. It's supposed to have directional lights, but obviously we won't know that until we get it on the track. Looks alright to me. Now the motor is actually, funny enough, in the coach. It isn't in the two power cars. So, oh yeah, this is much heavier, much heavier. Ooh, that's a weight to that. So the glazing is in there, so that's fine. We can work with that. So the motor is actually in this particular coach. There's a coupling there, so the coupling needs to go into both of those. I think that looks pretty good. And then finally the other end power car. Yeah, coupling's fine. I'm not seeing any, no obvious damage. Wiper blades are still there. Coupling, plug the coupling into still there, the inside. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the coach itself. Oh. There's the coach. So let's take a quick look at what we've got here. Basically it's exactly the same coach. Yeah, I don't see any damage there. The things to plug the couplings are there, both ends. The wheels are present and no damage. Yeah, really pleased with that. For a second-hand loco off eBay, that's in really good nick. Really pleased. Right. So like I say, these they come with non-standard 00 couplers. They're basically it's close coupled together. Second radius, if anyone's wondering, curves, which if my memory serves is 508 millimeters or somewhere around the 20 inches, give or take. So we're going to get this down onto the track downstairs, get it all set up. That'll be fun, and we'll take it from there. So here's my brother's layout, which you've probably seen in some previous videos. But what we're going to do, like I say, we only can use it on the second radius curve, so we can only, I believe my brother said. Are you right?
Yes, yeah.
The outer curve?
The outer curve is probably the best. I don't think the inner curve, yeah, I think that's going to be a bit tight.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the motor car, the car with the motor in, yeah, even, on its own, because that will test that it works. Oh, by the way, this is DC, it's not the DCC version. Now, John's has got a DCC layout, but we can use a DC train on here using code, what is it? Codo. So let's get that middle coach on and let's see if it actually runs, and then we'll get it all hooked together. I put it on, we haven't run it yet, so let's see what happens.
A lot of wheel slippage.
There is a lot of wheel slippage. Have I got it on properly?
You have. That's not wheel slipping actually. What is going on?
Join us in a minute while we try and ascertain why this is doing this. So, have a little problem. We don't know whether it's because it's trying to run on a DCC track. And this is a DC loco. I just had a very quick look online, and there do seem to be some people saying that they are very slow running on their Voyagers. It's to do with the gearing is slipping within the coach. And if John speeds it up for me, I think you can hear that there is something that sounds like something is slipping. It's not the wheels slipping, but it sounds like something slipping within the power car. So I think that's a shame. I think the best thing for me to do is get it back, and we'll see if I can get it on the rolling road, and we'll see if we can get the cover off that coach. That's where the power car, that's where the motor is, and we'll see if we can see, because there are some ideas that we can try that I've seen from other people to do with freeing up the gears and some other bits and pieces. So we'll try that. It's a shame because it's a lovely, well looked after loco. We'll just have to see if we can get it moving. This is the coach with the motor in it, and as I've discovered, where this one's concerned, it doesn't run very well. So it's a risky take when you're buying second hand from things, but we're going to try and fix it. We're going to try and get in there and see what's wrong with it. And I've got a rolling road, it's all fitted up to onto my test track. Background, you see some other things we bought from the show. We've got a class 158 2-car set and a class 45. Did really well out of doing that. So I'm really pleased. There is a video for the show that I went to. Well, hopefully that's up. It's either up now or it will be up after this video. But anyway, let's get this off here, and we'll show you what the problem is. There you go. That's the top off. They're dead easy to get off. So basically, at each end of the chassis, there are 4 screw points. 2 here, 2 at the other end. Take those screws out, and then the body just comes straight off. As you see, we've got a small circuit board on here. So this is a DC only coach. We're going to DCC this at some point in the future, but not right now. We're just going to try and fix it. Motor's in the centre. As you can see, there's 2 shafts going to both end bogies. So we're going to mount this up on the rolling road, and I'll show you what the actual problem is happening with this coach. Okay, right. I don't know whether this will be easy to see, so we'll try it at a slow speed to start with, and you should see the motor start to spin. Hopefully, in a minute. There we go. You can just about see it spinning. Not spinning really well. You should see that. Hopefully you can see the wheels are turning. I think they are anyway. Yeah, they are. Now you watch what happens as I increase the but as you can see, I think the wheels are not spinning as quickly as that. So it's slipping. And we've got a very slow runner. So that's what the problem is. Just turn that off down. I don't want to burn the motor out. So the likelihood is that there's either, what my guess is, that there's a problem potentially with the gears inside these 2 towers, possibly gunked up with a lot of dried grease, and it's what's not allowing the drive shaft to drive the wheels properly. So we're going to start with one end. We'll start with this end, take this tower off, and we're going to have a look at the state of the gears and how clean or dirty they are, and then we'll go from there. I'm not going to remove or fiddle with the motor unless I absolutely have to. Let's start with the gearing first, and we'll go from there. So just to quickly take you through it, these towers. So it's the centre screw that you undo, which will release the bogies. These 2 here are probably for additional circuit boards and things, would be my guess. But you leave those alone, you don't touch those, you just undo this. Like I say, if you wanted to do a more thorough clean, and I might do this at a later date when I actually put the DCC in, is you need to unsolder these pickups, wires from the pickups, and then you'll be able to drop the bogie all the way out. Now I'll probably do a more thorough clean of this loco once I do the DCCing of this thing, but for the time being we'll do the same as we've done to the front bogies. We'll get this shaft off, give it a real good clean inside this tower, and then we'll see if we fix the problem on the back. I've done that screw, and then you release this. It's got 2 clips either side. Release that, and then that releases the mechanism. You can release the wheels, and we can take a look. I've misplaced my loco lift, which is why I've got it balanced on the table. And normally I've got a foam loco lift which I use for this, but I can't find it. Anyway, let's get this off and we'll see what this is like. Okay, so we've got the tower, we've got the bogie. So we've released the bogie from the tower, and the actual gearing in there doesn't look too bad, but if you look really down inside, all this white solidified grease. So I think we've probably found what the problem is. And I've taken the lay shaft out, it's over here, and that is what it looks like. So I think we've probably found what the problem is. The gears on the wheels are no problem, they're absolutely fine. So I'm fine with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this one up, and we're going to try and see if I can do some cleaning up in here as well. The problem that I've got is that if I turn this over, it's been really nicely, the wiring's been really nicely done, but the wiring goes underneath these seats up and into the tower. The only way to properly release that bogie is to unsolder that wiring, and I really don't want to do that unless I absolutely have to. So let's see if just a quick clean on this end of the bogies actually solves the problem at this end. If it doesn't, we'll repeat it at this end. Okay, so I've cleaned all that gunk off this end from the flywheel, or rather the drive shaft, maybe a better way to put it. So this is the drive shaft. So I've cleaned off everything in here and I've done the wheels there. I haven't done the far end, but have a look at this. So I've got it in full gear, so watch the drive shaft is now moving. Hopefully we can see that the wheels, on the front at least, are moving nice and freely now, matching the speed that's coming out of the motor. Obviously we've still got the same problem at the back. I don't know whether you can probably see that, but they're hardly moving at all. So we've fixed this problem at the front, which has definitely been the gunked up grease. So if we do the same to the rear, we should have a fully working Voyager. So let's do the back ones and see what we get. Right, so there we go. Managed to do a reasonable amount of cleaning. Not perfect, but it is actually moving. Hang on. Right, so done a bit of cleaning and it is now running a lot smoother than it was. It still needs an awful lot more cleaning, but in order to do that I'm going to have to dismantle it and clip those wires and probably do the DCCing at the same time. But it has proved that the problem is with these towers at either end. They are just so full of grease, and like I said, I've managed to get rid of some of it but not all of it. But what I have managed to get rid of is it's made it run much smoother without slipping. So there's no problem with the wiring or the motor or the drive shafts. It's simply within these two towers that we've got the problem. So when I do the next video, when I do put the DCC chip in, we'll get this completely disassembled, the wires all clipped off, and we'll disassemble these towers completely and give them a thorough clean out, and then we'll clean the wheels as well. But that should make this nicely run. I'm pleased with that. That means no spare parts needed to this. Great stuff. So we'll see you on the next video.